Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I usually don't take it for granted. By supporting me again in this video, just do me a favor, ensure you like the video. I will appreciate you so much for that like. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Kenyans, as 247 unidentified bodies are still lying at City Mortuary, Nairobi County, we are yet to understand who are these young men and women that were killed either by bullet, abducted, and killed during the demonstration, as now US turns up the heat on Ruto demand for justice for protesters. According to the US Senator Chris Murphy, a prominent member of Senate Foreign Relations Committee, has taken a firm stance on the issue following his recent trip to Kenya. Murphy conveyed the US government's demand for accountability directly to President William Ruto. And so now, the US Senator visit comes on the heels of similar concerns raised by Azra Zea, who is also coming from Kenya, the Undersecretary for Civilian Security, Democracy and Human Rights, during a visit in July. And so, according to the Senate from US, says the violent and poorly executed crackdowns like those we witnessed during the protests often lead to more instability rather than stability. And so he emphasized that the US-Kenya relationship, while strong, could not reach its full potential unless there was a genuine commitment from Ruto's administration to hold those responsible for the abuses accountable. Rather, they want that those police officers who maimed, killed, brutalized Kenyans, abduct Kenyans during the protest, they must be charged. In fact, arrested and charged. And so the senator says, I think it is really important for US leaders to convey those concerns and make it clear that their relationship can't be at its strongest level unless there is a real commitment from Kenyan government to hold anyone that engaged in abuse, particularly in the context of the protest, accountable. So they are saying that if William Ruto wants his government to have a strong relationship with the US government, he must have a crackdown of arresting, charging those police officers who killed Kenyans, maimed them, brutalized them, abduct them during the protest. And so the crackdown has cast a shadow over the previously warm relations between Nairobi and Washington, which these were notably highlighted by Ruto's state visit to the US in May. But now, during the visit, President Joe Biden extended a rare honor to Ruto, which you saw, And so, making the first state visit by African head of the state to the US in 6 decades, this was a respect to William Ruto. But now they are turning against William Ruto, telling William Ruto that if you want us to continue having healthy relationship and strong, unless you have a crackdown, arrest, charge these police officers who kill Kenyans. And because William Ruto realized that the US was now on his side. He wants to do whatever he can do. He's now I don't care. But however, the violent suppression of protests and the subsequent lack of action against the police officers involved have strained this newfound diplomatic warmth. That relationship you saw in between William Ruto and US is coming down slowly by slowly. So Washington DC's strategic interest in Kenya, especially given the increasing influence of China, Russia, and Gulf states in Africa. And so US wanted to partner with William Ruto strongly to tame this increasing influence of China, Russia, and Gulf states in Africa. But seems like the relationship in between William Ruto with Joe Biden, or rather US, is now deteriorating. Why? Because William Ruto has refused to be accountable. And so the protest in question was sparked by widespread public discontent with the government's finance bill, which many Kenyans viewed as, of course, the exacerbating the already dire economic situation that you saw that was pushing William Ruto to impose the punitive finance bill to us. And so the police response was swift and brutal, leading to numerous deaths, injuries, and disappearances. And you saw what happened. Some are even buried. Some are still lying at city mortuary. But now, despite ongoing investigations by Kenya's Independent Public Oversight Authority, and that is IPOA, and that is, I always ask, are we having IPOA doing their job? They are not. No officer have been prosecuted or dismissed in connection with the protest that happened the other time, a fact that has not gone unnoticed by the US. But now, as much as we can claim and say that William Ruto must act on this issue, remember, MPs have also expressed frustration over the lack of progress in holding the police accountable. Remember, last week, they demanded the IPOA to provide and publish a comprehensive details of its investigations into the deaths recorded during the protest by the end of August. But are you sure this thing is going to happen? Because the push from the US comes at a critical time for Kenya as the country grapples, remember, with its internal challenges while maintaining its roles as key rally in regional and global matters. And so for me, when I saw US trying to push William Ruto to be accountable, remember, Nairobi's cooperation with Washington extends beyond bilateral relationship. And this effort, remember, was to impact Kenya. But despite the strong strategic partnership, the US has yet to indicate whether the lack of justice for those affected by the protest will impact the implementation of funding and support pledged during Ruto's state visit. In other words, they're like turning against William Ruto. They don't want to listen to such kind of impunity. But the question is, for many Kenyans, however, the immediate concerns remains whether justice will be served for the victims of the crackdown and whether the promises of accountability will translate into meaningful action. That is my worries. That is a lot of worries that is hitting us, all of us. I know some individuals are still don't understand, but I'm telling you, 247 young men and women lying at city mortuary, killed during the protest. They are unidentified. Then that kind of situation, what can you say? Ladies and gentlemen, Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Bye bye till you meet in another video.